Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm going to be doing an anime review on Glasslip Episode 2. I cannot believe it's already the second week of this anime season. My god, time flies. So anyways, okay, this episode shows us supernatural elements. Now, when I walked into Glasslip, I did not think that this would have any supernatural elements at all, and I don't think it actually had any tags of supernatural on this series when I walked in on the first episode. So, finding out that there's supernatural elements is really shocking, and at the same time, it opens up a wide variety of what most likely this series is going to be about. So, the supernatural element that was introduced this episode, we find out that our two main characters, Toko and Kakeru, hopefully I got their names correct, we find out that they could see the future through glass or shiny objects, which is really interesting. I like how it correlates with the actual title of this series, and that is cool. But the big thing here, okay, we find out, it doesn't really explain exactly why they got these powers or exactly why they can see the future. It also doesn't show like how far in the future can they really see. Now there's one thing I want to bring up. I didn't talk about it last week since I was too focused on the animation, but there was a lot of foreshadowing, and someone else pointed out in the comments last week, a lot of foreshadowing about this entire group splitting up, and then once again we had more foreshadowing in this second episode with the group splitting up with all this romance trouble going on. And so what I can see here, we see a little glimpse into the future through that glass. We see Toko on one side of the tracks, and then you see her group of friends on the other side, and you see how they separate. I'm guessing either that displays that the group will eventually break apart away from Toko, or at the same time it looks like one of them are going to get hit by a train, because you see the train come in where Toko was. So it's either way, or Toko could move away. It could be any one of those type of events, but I feel like that's exactly what that vision was supposed to show us, because they would not show something like that, especially related to the future, if they did not mean some form of foreshadowing with it. So overall, interesting and unique concept they've added into the series. It's not just going to be a standard slice of life series with some romance and drama. They're adding in some actual foreshadowing with the future, which is cool. Now let's talk about that animation, since that's one of the main points about the series and why so many people probably continue to watch this series on to episode 2. Now, okay, there was a lot of different things in this episode I really noticed. Now, I'm going to be nitpicking a little bit about this animation, okay? It's very beautiful. Once again, it was a very beautiful setting. I love the animation, the atmosphere, the tone, everything worked. But if I wasn't completely focused on that animation, I would have missed these things. But since I was focused, I noticed some certain things they used to be able to save budget. So let's bring those out. Now, we had an entire scene with a CGI fan this episode. If you look closely, you'll see a CGI fan going back and forth for one of the main characters' rooms. Now, if you go a couple of minutes in the future of that episode, I see the pun I just did. Anyways, if you go a couple minutes into the episode, you will see they use that exact same scene. They just redraw the character's position, and they keep that fan CGI like it is. It's a smart way to save budget. All they had to do was move the character in that entire scene. So what they're doing, I notice how they're saving budget and able to keep this beautiful backgrounds, is by literally saving those backgrounds. They're keeping the same angles with these backgrounds, except it's like they're just redrawing the characters inside of these backgrounds. That's exactly how I see they're doing this series, because you can clearly see that in multiple different shots in this episode. If you go back to last episode and this episode, they're reusing the same backgrounds. And that's what they're doing, which is a smart move. It's very smart for them to do something like that. And I'm not complaining on their decision to do that, because it allows them to save budget. And the only person that really will notice something like that is someone like me that wants to just focus on that animation and find something. But besides that, overall, I like what they're doing. It's a good job of what they're doing. The voice actors, once again, were good. And we get some more, I guess, drama building up with these characters, especially with the romance in this episode. And we get to see a love confession at the same time our main female character doesn't really know what to do at this point, since her friend technically wants to confess to the boy that confessed to her. And so she's in a spot right now to where she wants to know what's going to happen in the future. Most likely lead into some major events next episode that will probably lead into the main plot of this series. Because it seems like this series most likely is going to focus around telling the future, and at the same time probably fixing these group of friends to where they want to stay together. That's exactly the way I see this series going, which is really cool. I like it so far. So anyways, everybody, there's a lot more stuff I can cover, but I mean, there's so much other anime right now. I want to go watch that now. But tell me your thoughts on this episode of Glasslip. What'd you feel about that foreshadowing? What'd you feel about that animation? Did you not notice that animation the way they were using the animation this episode? If you didn't, please let me know in the comments below, because I was wanting to see if anyone else realized something like that like I did. All of you, you have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.